Hi everyone, it's me, Kevin, back with you. We haven't done one of these in a long time, and since we are heading into the end of 2019, I thought this would be a good opportunity to do a kind of wrap-up of year one of the Oracle and talk about some of our plans for the future. So we launched in February of this year, so we're not quite at a year yet, but close enough. When I decided that I was going to do this, I had no idea what kind of response to expect. I'd been doing stuff on the internet for quite some time, but a puppet show, it was anybody's guess what was going to happen. And it had just been the kind of thing that I've always wanted to do, and the stars aligned and the time was right to do it. So I just went ahead and did it, and had no idea what was going to be the outcome. So right now we are at 194, I think, subscriptions. That could have changed by the time you see this, but I know that's not a lot in terms of YouTube channels overall, but that's a heck of a lot to me personally. I had no idea. I would have been surprised that I was thrilled when we got 50. I remember I did the first vlog because we crossed the 50 subscription threshold. That's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know that many people in real life, so it's not all friends and family, So I thank you. That's the kind of the big message, I think, for the first year here is I've made some new friends, I've made some new contacts, people are watching the show. It doesn't matter that it's not a huge number of people. All I really want is just an audience. I want to put this into the world and to have people smile and have a good time. So I guess that's the first message is thank you. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for sticking around. I know that the attention economy is a very tight commodity in these times, and the fact that you spend some time with us here means a whole lot. So let's talk about what comes next. By the time this goes up, there's going to be one more Oracle episode in what I'm calling season 1. I originally didn't have it sort of planned out as seasons, but the way things have gone, it kind of makes sense to kind of wrap things up in that way. So on December 20th, I think, which is coincidentally the same date as the release of The Rise of Skywalker, which I don't know, is that a good omen or not? We'll see. However, that's when the final Oracle episode in season 1 is going to be released. And then after that, I'm going to take a bit of a break over the holidays. It does take a lot of work to do this kind of thing, and I could use a bit of a breather. So a couple of things are going to happen over the break. I'm going to work on opening an Etsy store for some of the puppet building stuff. I'm going to be selling some of the Greeblies that you see behind me here. Don't worry, I'm not turning the channel into an advertising venue for my Etsy store. The Etsy store is an appendage of the channel and is there to support the channel, hopefully financially, we'll see. But that's one of the first things I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a lot of puppet building, and I'm going to be opening the Etsy store. The other thing is, I'm also going to be doing, while we're not going to be putting out regular videos on the channel, I'm going to be doing live streams with Frankie over on our Twitch channel. I've done a couple of live streams already, and I quite enjoyed them, and so I think I'm going to try and make that a regular thing. And that way you can sort of keep in touch, and there's still content being produced. It's just that stuff's all going to live on Twitch, and I'm not going to be putting up the archives on the channel. So here's the link to our Twitch channel. If you are on Twitch, come on over and follow the channel. We are working on getting to affiliate, and we'll see how it goes after that. But they're really fun, and I'm focusing, of course, on doing family-friendly games, the same sort of age level as this channel here. So everything's going to be kid-friendly. There's not going to be any swearing. There's not going to be any off-color humor, and chat is very tightly controlled. The chat is not baked into the video. So it should be kid-friendly, it should be family-friendly, so all that stuff. So come on over to our Twitch channel and check us out there. So now the big thing. We got to talk about COPPA. So COPPA stands for the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details about what that entails because there's like approximately 1 billion videos already on YouTube about that. So by all means, check those out. But what the deal is for YouTube is COPPA is a law that has been on the books for quite some time, and it's just that it's only fairly recently started to be seriously enforced. And what it is about protecting the privacy of children online. That's a good thing. I want to make this point from the beginning that I am pro COPPA. I think COPPA is a good thing. I think that everybody's privacy should be protected online, and it's particularly important to protect children's privacy online. So this is all good. However, it does mean a few things for the channel. Now, last year, I think it was, the FCC took a hard look at Google and went, "You're not paying attention to any of this COPPA stuff. Have a gigantic fine." Google has now instituted a new series of policies that every YouTube channel has to follow. And this does mean a few things for the Oracle. So the first thing that every YouTube creator has to do now is flag either every video or their entire channel as being either for kids or not for kids. There is no gray area. Something is either for kids or not for kids. And what that means is a few things. So because we have only these two categories, for kids or not for kids, every YouTube creator has to kind of make a decision now. Now, the Oracle is in an odd position because although the channel has always been kid-friendly and kid-safe, the show itself isn't necessarily for kids in those very sort of strictly defined ways. I've always thought of the humor level of the Oracle as being similar to the Muppet Show, whereas kids can watch it, kids should feel encouraged to watch it, it's fun for kids, but there's also plenty there that, you know, is a little more sophisticated and that adults can enjoy it too. It's for everyone. Kids safe and for kids are not necessarily the same thing, right? But since I have to make that distinction, because what's going to happen is, of course, the FCC is going to come in and check all this stuff. And channels that are flagged as not for kids, but yet contain things that are seen as enticing to kids are going to get hit with fines. And not Google is going to get hit with fines, the creator is going to get hit with fines. What this is really about in terms of flagging your channel as for kids and then it being not really for kids, the targets there are the people who are actually running like misleading scam sites, who are trying to, you know, entice children to watch their channel, and then it turns nasty. I won't go into details, but there's a lot of nasty stuff on YouTube, as you know, and this is an attempt to try and protect children from that. Hi everyone, I'm shooting a quick insert here. This is being shot after I reviewed the vlog previously because I wanted to clarify a couple of the comments that I made in the vlog itself and to make sure that there's no misunderstanding. Google has not done a good job with surfacing marginalized groups. They have done a very bad job at deciding what is and is not children's content. So Google has a history of saying that any video with queer or trans characters in it is not for kids, and that's absolute nonsense. When I say there are misleading videos that go down a dark path, I am not talking about queer creators. I am talking about right-wing extremist ideology. I'm talking about Nazis, okay? There's lots of videos that are trying to like entice kids and indoctrinate them into what is effectively Nazi ideology, and that's what I'm talking about. We absolutely need queer and trans representation in children's entertainment. I know there are people who disagree with me on that. You are welcome to disagree with me. You are also welcome to not watch the channel. Here at the Oracle, we absolutely support queer and trans creators. We support diversity. I know we don't usually get political on this channel, but I'm making the statement right now. We are 100% on the favor of queer and trans and marginalized people having more of a face on YouTube. That is very important, and that's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the dark path. So this video was originally scheduled to go up on the 13th, which is this coming Friday. There is a protest that is being arranged to stand in solidarity with marginalized creators who are being unfairly targeted by all this COPPA stuff. And as a result, we're not posting this video until Monday, just because we want to make the point that we stand in solidarity with marginalized creators. And okay, so now that that's clear, on with the vlog. This is a good thing. The Oracle is not a target for that. Now, who this does affect kind of tangentially are a lot of the channels that that have things that are traditionally for kids, but nevertheless whose content is adult. So I think of our friends at All Things Z, for example. I mean, adult puppetry is a very big field, and it's not what we do, but it is a very big field, and that it is not for kids, but nevertheless, what if, and the question of course is, what if the FCC decides that it is for kids and yet contains all this, adult humor? What happens then? What is actually in all likelihood going to happen is absolutely nothing. As long as you flag your content is not for kids, that's it. It doesn't matter if it contains animation or colorful puppet characters. If you flag it correctly, you're fine. The only people who actually need to be worried are the people who are trying to be misleading. So that's all I have to say about that. It's don't panic. If you flag your videos right, you'll be fine. So that leads to the question of, how am I going to flag the Oracle? And I think, after I've considered everything, that the best thing for me to do is to flag it as for kids. This does not exclude adults watching, but what it does mean is this is a safe place for kids to watch. And that's something that the Oracle has always been. So I think in the broadest terms, flagging it as for kids is probably the best thing, both for the channel and for the audience. Videos flagged as for kids will not be featured alongside searches that contain videos that are not for kids. So the search engine algorithm is going to be completely separate. People are panicking, of course, anytime that anything happens to a search engine algorithm, people panic because they think they've got it all figured out and suddenly it doesn't work that way anymore. But what it means is that kid searches will be with kid searches and non-kid searches will be with non-kid searches. Now, for some channels, for a lot of channels, that means you're not going to get as many organic search results, because your videos are not going to be featured alongside suggested videos that are not flagged as for kids. However, and this is one of the things that I think this may actually be a good thing for us, for smaller YouTube channels like us, this means that since all of the kids stuff is going to be together, channels that were just kind of being buried in the mix before are now going to be pushed up to the top because they are flagged as explicitly for kids. And so nobody really knows what's going to happen in terms of search results yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that actually ended up bringing us a few more viewers on board. Now, that does mean a couple things are going to change come January. January is when all this goes into effect. The first thing is, like I said, our search results will not be featured alongside search results that are for non-kid stuff. So that's fine. I'm not worried about that. If anything, that's probably going to be good for us because we never got much traffic from just generic search results anyway. So this could actually be a good thing for us. So since videos flagged as for kids are meant to comply with COPPA guidelines, what this means is that Google cannot retrieve and store data related to the viewership of that video. So that means there's no targeted advertising. I'm not worried about that. The channel isn't monetized. The channel will probably never be big enough to be monetized. I don't really care about that. That's not even a thing. What it also means is some features on the channel are going away. Specifically, no notifications. I don't know that that's a big deal. I don't personally myself use the little bell notification. I don't know if you do, but if you do, that's going away. You will not get a notification when I put up a new video anymore. So stay tuned to social media. There's 1,000 other ways to find out that somebody's posted a new video, so I don't think that's a big deal. What is a big deal are playlists. You cannot save kid-friendly videos or kid-safe for kid videos. See, the terms are confusing. You cannot save kid-safe videos to playlists, and 4Kid videos will also not have the community tab or the comments section. Those are the things that I'm kind of like, oh, that's a real bummer. A couple of months ago, I did a sort of rearrange of the front page of the YouTube channel and how it's presented. And what I did was, the first kind of strip is the latest videos, and then I just did a section for every playlist for all the different shows. And I was quite surprised. I mean, it wasn't a huge difference in views, but there was a noticeable change. We got a lot of new views all of a sudden just because of this reorganization thing. And now it's something like 20% of the views come from playlists. And those are the playlists that I put, sorry, on the front page of the channel. So all of those playlists are going away. That might actually be a real big bummer. I don't know what to do about that. I don't think there is anything right now to do about that. I wouldn't be surprised to see like third-party sites kind of pop up and go, here, you can save all your YouTube videos to this playlist over here, and we'll just embed them and whatever. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. But playlists for the Oracle videos are going away in January, so that's one thing to note. And the other big thing is no comments section. Now, this is the real bummer for me because I love hearing from you guys. I love being able to interact with the audience. I do this for the audience. So to not have a comment section, and for not have the ability to have people like give a thumbs up or comment on the video, it's going to feel very isolated. Now, thankfully, there is a response to that, and that is social media accounts. The channel has Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. If you're not at any of those things, there's always email. But what it means is I will be in the videos, and we'll do a new stinger that's not just to ask the Oracle a question, but it's also here, follow us on these social media accounts. All of the social media accounts are linked somewhere in the header. I will also start posting those links on the videos themselves. Like in the description of the videos themselves. That's the thing. I want, to have that sense of community and that sense of feedback between the creator and the audience is really important. So it's going to mean an extra step for both you and myself, but please do follow us on social media. All the accounts are there. I'm not super active in posting, but I'm always reading, and if somebody posts something, I will respond probably immediately because I live online. So by all means, please follow on all the social media accounts that you have, and that way we can keep the dialogue going and not worry about what YouTube does. So those are the big things with COPPA. Of course, the entire YouTube world is just freaking out right now because people are talking about they're going to get fines and they're not going to have their videos be searchable anymore, and all these, it's a lot of misinformation, it's a lot of misunderstanding, it's a lot of panic. I personally don't think it's going to be all that bad. Even Google themselves have said they're going to be making adjustments as time goes on. This is not a done deal. And we'll see how it shakes out. It's also possible that some other platform could step up and sort of fill the void, in which case, I am not, married to YouTube. I will happily move wherever the audience is. That being said, of course, COPPA isn't just because YouTube is just the biggest target. COPPA affects everybody. So eventually everybody's going to have to comply with these laws. So it's really not much of a point going, well, I'm just going to move to Vimeo or whoever. They're subject to COPPA just as much as YouTube is. So you might as well batten down the hatches, do what YouTube tells you to do, and just try and ride it out, because I promise the storm will pass. That is my one message to my fellow creators out there is, hold on, do the thing that you know you should do, flag your videos appropriately, and just ride the wave, because things are going to happen. Nobody knows what the actual outcome is. There's 1,000 social media gurus. Where's Gus? There's 1,000 social media gurus out there telling you that they know what's going on and to panic and here's what you should do. And it's like, no, you have two choices. You can shut your channel down, or you can flag your videos appropriately and just see what happens. And there's no question. Flag your videos appropriately and see what happens. At least for us around here, we've all worked too hard and too long to just go, well, that's it. I'm too frightened of the FCC, so my puppet show is going away. No. Do the thing. Keep going. You'll find. So, how long is this break going to last, you ask? Good question. I'm not sure yet. Almost certainly all of January. And we'll probably be back in February, and that makes a kind of nice bookend for how the show goes, because the show launched in February, so that makes a lot of sense. Things are going to be changing a little bit in terms of the direction of the show. If you watch the next episode of The Oracle, episode 24, you will see the direction we're going in. It's going to be a big episode, and there's going to be some interesting things that happen. And we're taking the show in an interesting new direction. Part of the reason I need this break is because I just have to start writing season 2, because there's nothing written right now. Although, obviously I've got some ideas, so we'll see how it goes. But we will be back in terms of regular shows in February, if all things go well. Always follow me on all the social media accounts. Join the Twitch channel, because Frankie's still going to be streaming regularly, so we're still going to be active. And if you are interested, you can check out the Etsy store and see what I've got for sale then. But as always, thank you for watching. The show is the kind of thing I've always wanted to do, and that's why I'm doing it now. The fact that there are people who are watching and enjoying means the world to me. This is the thing that I want to put in the world. This is my legacy. This is what I want to be remembered for. And the fact that there are people watching is the best feeling in the world. And thank you so much. Be good to each other, and I'll see you in 2020.